All right, what is up, everybody? Welcome into today's edition of In the Game. I am your host, Hustle, and as always, we're going to be diving into the markets. We're going to be diving into the two hottest narratives right now. We've been covering the Metaverse, which has been taking a big surge in the markets, even despite the volatility in the overall markets. That's not what we're here to talk about. I'm here to talk about today the AI and the Metaverse narrative, and why I do believe that those two narratives right now are the ones in the most focus, but long term, AI, Metaverse, and then gaming as a subset of the Metaverse will be the biggest winners out of this bear market, as well as leading up to WWDC, Apple's conference on June 5th. Why this is a really big milestone for the Metaverse, as well as a project that seems to hint that something is coming. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Like the video down below and subscribe for more every single day here on Crypto Banter regarding gaming, fundamentals, charting, TA, everything you could find here on the channel. As well, shout out to our sponsors, Bybit down below for all of your trading needs. NordVPN, always navigate securely through crypto. Use a VPN down below with NordVPN. Vulcan Forge, one of my absolute favorite projects in the space. Metaverse as a service with Metascape's AAA gaming studio, as well as their own blockchain with Elysium. And last but not least, SinVerse, which looks to be and is shaping up like the Grand Theft Auto of the Metaverse, open world, businesses, etc. So check all of our sponsors out down below. Let's dive right into it. Like I said, we're not really here to talk about the market volatility, because I actually see a subset underneath crypto, and that's the Metaverse right now. We'll get into both the big narratives, right? Metaverse and AI. I think right now they're both under a microscope. And starting off with the Metaverse, we have WWDC 2023 coming up on June 5th at 10 a.m. Pacific time. So 1 p.m. Eastern time here where I'm at. This is going to be definitely something to watch, as the expected announcements here include the AR/VR headset. So the augmented reality, virtual reality headset. Now, this could really transcend the Metaverse space, and we could legitimately see some products be listed or compatible potentially with the Apple VR experience. And let's just start with the low-hanging fruit. We've been talking about Widerworld a lot on the show. This is honestly my favorite Metaverse out there. Top tier graphics. It's actually something that people will want to hop into, unlike like a sandbox, which is just like a pixelated Web3 version of Minecraft, but a little more, open world, I guess, social, whatever you would want to call it. But Widerworld here, Frank from Widerworld, who is the top dog over at Widerworld, he posted this, probably nothing. And it's the picture of WWDC with Apple. It says Code New Worlds. So this is obviously regarding their AR/VR headset. But what could Frank be hinting at here regarding Apple? Now, their experience, we'll go check out, what I mean by the graphics here in just a second, but we're seeing here Widerworld replying with the sunglasses. And if we go over to Wilder Neo, he says the next couple weeks will be the most monumental in Widerworld history. Details will be shared in our devlog 1 TLDR. We are pressing the button. So, whether this is giving the product a live go for holders of their NFTs, or just making the product live in certain areas, or if this really does mean that they're going to be on Apple VR. Like, this could be huge, and it would really send Widerworld into that would be a parabolic pump, in my opinion. You would see Widerworld token, which right now it's seen a little bit of pump from this, but it's kind of died down from whenever they posted that. But an actual announcement on June 5th, or an actual announcement that it's compatible with Apple VR, could really send this skyrocketing, in my opinion. So definitely look out for Widerworld. And even if you look at the 1 year, it's been up to 48 cents this year. We're still well below that. So I think obviously if there's a big announcement here regarding Apple, this will shoot through those local highs and probably continue past that, because that would be a really big development. We have Render, which it's a Metaverse play. It's an AI play. It's a computer rendering play. And I think long term, it's taking a dip substantially, actually. It got up here close to $3, and then now it's taking a dip back towards $2.50. I think it's a healthy dip. There was a lot of liquidity that's come into Render over the last few weeks, but it's really cool to see the capabilities that this can provide. We see here Raoul Marx, they created this trailer for a game called Marathon. This is a Web3 game from the creators of Halo from Bungie. Now, this right here, this video, so the fact that top tier devs or top tier marketing materials for these Bungie created games are being used and made by Render. It says a lot of this was rendered on Render token, such a lifesaver on a tight deadline. So this is already being utilized across games, across Metaverse. And, you know, just to be completely realistic, I think Render, it will never be NVIDIA, right? Don't get me wrong, not going to be NVIDIA, $1 trillion market cap, right? But I do think Render has the potential to actually become one of the biggest companies in Web3 due to what they're providing. You know, connecting artists with next-gen 3D media, near unlimited GPUs and a decentralized global network. Like, they're running alongside with what NVIDIA does provide. And I know that they actually kind of work hand in hand with NVIDIA in some instances. So, you know, as far as like looking for the NVIDIA of Web3, this is probably it. So a long-term bet on Render will definitely pay off. We have Sandbox, obviously, in the lens coming up to June 5th. This is a low-hanging fruit because it probably will be compatible eventually with Apple VR. You know, you download the Sandbox app and you can hop in. I could totally see that being a realistic play. And this is getting listed in Hong Kong on June 1st, which is tomorrow. So you could see some liquidity coming into Sandbox, no doubt about it. We have High Street taking a little bit of a dip. It got up here to about 210, and now it's taking a dip just because the market's dipping. Like I said, if we go back here, you know, we're down 3% almost, 2.5% over the 24 hours on Bitcoin. So this could be a good accumulation. If you missed the initial pump, you can maybe get a DCA in here and still ride it up towards that Metaverse narrative on June 5th. And then last but not least, Vulcan Forge is really taking a hit because it's post-conference. We know what happens. We've seen the Cardano conferences over time, Avalanche conferences over time. We've seen Phantom conferences, and infamous for taking a big dip after these conferences, because no matter what in Web3, no matter what you announce in that conference, a lot of the time it's baked in before, and then it's going to take a dip afterwards. But the thing is, Vulcan Forge is hinting that they're coming to 300 million households very soon. As well, they also hinted that they have a trick up their sleeve with Apple VR. So we'll see what that means. My low-hanging fruit guess would be that Metascapes might be the compatible platform here. But if we look at the weekly chart, it's definitely, you know, it got up to close to $4. It's taking quite a bit of a hit here. But I think long-term, this will be a major winner. And another one that could also be compatible in some instances with Apple VR. I could totally see that happening. Now, let's move on to the AI narrative, which I also mentioned, I think is under a microscope right now. And we just talked about NVIDIA. I do think Render is the closest company in Web3 to an NVIDIA. You know, take that for what you will. Never will be a $1 trillion market cap like NVIDIA. That's just unreal. But at the same time, AI, the developments we're seeing in gaming and AI is really tremendous. So we see Jensen of NVIDIA gave his first live keynote in 4 years. The most show-stopping moment from the event was when he showed off real-time AI in video games. A human speaks, the NPC responds in real time, and the dialogue was generated with AI on the fly. So it was a real conversation and the dialogue was back and forth. It's not programmed in, which a lot of games are, right? So a lot of games, you say something to a character, an NPC is a non-player character for those that don't know the terminology. So NPC equals non-player character. Usually in these circumstances, something pops up and there's two options to click, right? You click one or the two, and then they have a programmed response. But this right here is a direct flow, live conversation with an NPC that they're adapting to and responding to on the fly. This is going to be powerful, you know? Eventually, when you walk up to a character in Grand Theft Auto, it's no longer going to be the rhetorical responses like you punch them in the face and they're like, "Hey, fool." Like, no, it's not going to be like that. It's not going to be those uneducated pre-programmed responses. They're going to be AI models. They're going to be able to trash talk you in real time. They're going to be able to work on the fly. And this is huge. And I think whenever you look at the AI narrative, the low-hanging fruit is obviously SingularityNet, which is taking a pretty good dip right now as well. And all these projects are under $1 billion market cap, which, you know, billion is a big market cap. Don't get me wrong. But every one of these top AI projects is still underneath $1 billion market cap. And you have to understand that when the bull run comes, these are all going to be billion to multi-billion dollar projects given the narrative. Fetch AI as well, even smaller market cap than Singularity, as well as Ocean Protocol. But one that I think doesn't get a lot of shine or attention that has been making quite a bit of moves if you pay attention to their development, and that's Covalent. We covered this initially when AI started popping off. And this is the lowest market cap of those top projects. And Covalent's actually doing some really cool integration. So I would take a look at this one as your lower market cap AI play. But I definitely think Singularity, Fetch, Ocean, and Covalent. I mean, as far as long-term plays and long-term investments, given the advancements in AI technology, with, you know, forget the GPTs and the BARDs and all these big developments coming from these major companies, the integration that you're going to see AI be in every single business model, every single situation, games, movies, who knows where artificial intelligence can take us. But I think it's a bet worth making, especially if you have a long-term time horizon. And the key here, guys, always understand your time horizon on these investments. Right? If you're playing into the metaverse right now, before we move on to a couple of gaming tokens that I'm looking for potential accumulations if they get a little cheaper, look at the narrative and look at your time horizons. So if you've been playing into this metaverse pump leading up to June 5th, probably a short-term time horizon because you're looking for an announcement to pump. You're looking for the narrative of metaverse to be a buy the rumor, sell the news. But long-term, obviously, the metaverse is also a play. But for these news type announcements, you might have a shorter term time horizon to potentially get return on those investments. But I think on the AI side, you need to have a long-term time horizon. And it might be easy for you to be able to divide your bags into two different wallets and say, this is my short-term portfolio, my swing portfolio, and then this is my long-term portfolio that I'm going to sit here, I'm going to DCA, and I'm going to come back during the 2025 bull market and say, oh my gosh, I planted some seeds here into these industries like gaming, like AI, like metaverse, etc., and they've really played out because that's how you're going to succeed. You need to just understand when you buy something, what is the time horizon that you are looking at for those games or for games. And I think whenever we'll go over these tokens, these are long-term time horizons, right? Altura at this market cap, $25 million market cap, long-term time horizon. Come the next bull market, when all these games they're partnering with, they partnered up with MetaOps Gaming, which is a first-person shooter, really nice product. Actually, I've played MetaOps myself. But they'll be using their Unity SDK, burnable NFTs, and smart NFTs to mint, update in-game assets, and social logins to allow users to log in with social profiles. Now, Altura, they're stacking up these games that are working with them. When the bull market comes and all these games are utilizing their SDK, it is going to absolutely explode. So a long-term time horizon on stuff like Altura. 𝗕𝗵𝗄 is getting pretty cheap here at a $47 million market cap. Recently spoke with their team, and they have a lot of good games lining up in the platform to be able to be launched. I think that this is definitely worth an accumulation, considering that when the bull run comes, we're going to see it shoot back up. Maybe not to all-time highs, but everyone's going to want to get their hands on these IGOs, these early investments. We saw what they did in the last bull market, 100Xs, 250Xs on some of these IGOs. And 𝗕𝗵𝗄 is the leading gaming launchpad. So definitely looking for some accumulation prices on 𝗕𝗵𝗄 if it continues to dip. Gala, like I said, despite their stance against investors, they A, need investors, and then B, the products that they're delivering speak for themselves. I do think that this has quite a bit of a dip left in it, unless the Metaverse announcement on June 5th is something super bullish and once again sends a big catalyst to the gaming and Metaverse tokens. I think we can get a cheaper price here on 𝗏𝗏 just due to the tokenomics. And if you see 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗏 posted this about how the ecosystem has been booming, and they really do just have the most live products in the space, which is important. Like Spider Tanks, Superior, Townstar, Grit just went live. Mirandus, they have a poker game going live. One Universe, Legends Reborn, Eternal Paradox. Like they have so many games that are playable, whether it's early alpha, whether it's full release, but that's important to me. They are shipping product. So definitely looking for long-term accumulations on 𝗏𝗏 as well as Veracity and Theta. I think that these are two products that will not go away. Their market caps respectfully, their market caps at about 50 million here, and ignore this fully diluted. There's a lot of tokens that are minted that will never be sold, that will never be distributed. So fully diluted is honestly irrelevant when it comes to Veracity, because now it's always going to be pretty high, but the actual market cap here allows for a ton of growth. We've seen an all-time high of about 8 cents here from Veracity, and they just continue to build. Definitely one of the better companies in Web3, in my opinion. And then Theta, you're betting on it to be the Twitch of crypto gaming, and the market caps have fully diluted at this point. It's 100% circulating supply on Theta, and that's really important to me as well. Let's get to the things that are on the way that I'm excited about. We've been updating you on 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃, which is a Web3 gaming infrastructure, which is actually going to be able to seamlessly integrate Web3 into your game, into your product. So you don't really have to worry about certain aspects of the smart contracts, coding, marketplaces, NFTs, etc. They've partnered up with one of my favorite Metaverse projects, 𝗕𝗆𝗵𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃. They announced this today. Revolutionizing crypto and Web3 with our ISPO. Their expertise in Metaverse gaming combined with our solutions will reshape the industry. This sets the stage for remarkable initiatives. They will advise on the design of our gamified stake pools, quest systems, NFT avatar progression systems, while 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 will provide its infrastructure to increase the capabilities of 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃. They will unlock economic potential of the metaverse and create endless opportunities for participants. So I've been covering this project 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃 because they have their upcoming ISPO, multi-chain, as you can see here, bringing you the opportunity to stake tokens and you earn 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃 tokens in return. And this is the earliest way to get involved into this ecosystem. This originated, as they said, on Cardano, but now it's going multi-chain. Definitely something that you should look out for because it's a way to get into this ecosystem very early. And on top of that, all you have to do is stake a token. So you're not actually like investing into it up front. You can just stake and you'll receive rewards in this token. So that is definitely bullish. And I love that they partnered up with 𝗕𝗏𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃, one of my favorite projects. And then something I'm super stoked about, something that I'm building in the background is a Web3 gaming software that'll track all your investments. It'll track game discoverability, reviews. And as you can see here, you'll be able to find new players, find people to play the game with, chat about the games. How can I progress past this level, etc. Shows you who's developing it, what blockchain. It's consolidating all the information in Web3 into one platform. So I'll update on this as it comes, but really excited for what we're building over at Nexus Gaming IO because it will help me not have to use 10 tabs, 10 websites here to get all my data in one spot. So guys, I'm going to hop out of here. I'll kind of go over. I'm looking at dips on Avalanche. I think Avalanche can continue to take a hit here, but I'm super bullish on Avalanche, and I'm really going to be accumulating hard as it nears that $10 level. I haven't made an accumulation on IMX yet. I think IMX has a ways to go on the downside still. Their tokenomics just aren't the best. The monthly unlocks don't give me a lot of hope that the token price is going to sustain short term. But before the bull market, I am going to get in a chunk of a position into IMX. Pepe's taking quite a bit of a dip, but we're not here to talk about that. I'm keeping my eyes on Magic. I'm keeping my eyes on Ultra. If it breaks down below this 19 cents level, we could see a big tumble here, but I'll definitely accumulate if we go much lower here on Ultra. So there's a couple that I'm really bullish on as far as the medium to high caps. I think WASDR also could take quite a bit of a hit here. So if you're looking to accumulate, I think you can get better prices. I'm also looking at WAGMI Games. You know, they've taken a huge pump over this week. So shout out to WAGMI, you know, one of our favorite games and one of our favorite low cap tokens. But I think with their developments around the corner, full game launch this summer, and also they have a big catalyst to get into a lot of households as well. I would definitely keep an eye on those low caps. So let's go ahead and jump out of here. Like the video if you enjoyed the content. Let me know your thoughts down below on the metaverse narrative, on AI. What are your favorite tokens you're accumulating for a short-term or a long-term horizon? Let me know all your thoughts down below and subscribe to the channel for more. I'll be back tomorrow. As always, play well, my friends.